Hello everyone and welcome back to Farm Center 22. We're back here on No Man's Land with Grober Games. So we're still continuing the month of October for our fall harvest. We got most of our cornfields knocked out right now, but the rain kind of put a damper on everything and slowed us down for quite a while there. Otherwise, I think we would have been able to harvest everything in one session. But right now we're on our way to finishing this last field. I think I'm gonna take off the rest of the headlands here. And then once I get the rest of the headlands done, I think I'm going to have the helper take over for a bit while I get the next... I'll start working on getting the next field all ready to go for getting plowed, so that way we can have a helper work on that when we finish this one up. I'm thinking right now I might unhook the Kubota from the slurry tanker today. And hook it up back to the Alice chisel plow we have. Oh. Jeez, that's quite a awkward discharge radius, but we're gonna, like I said, the plan today is we're gonna finish knocking out all the corn today. That way we'll only have the 3 bean fields to worry about tomorrow. So one thing I didn't mention last episode while we were kind of harvesting there, it's kind of interesting how one season of not liming kind of affects the yield quite a bit. Like, oh, let's take a closer look here. Like, if you kind of look at it, look how spotty that field is just from us not liming it for one season. I think that if we have time, we'll probably, like, skip one season of liming fields. Like, we'll do it every other year type thing instead of trying to do it every year, just because that's going to take up a lot of time. And until we get a bigger system for spreading lime, I think that might be the safer route. Oh, I'm trying to think. Looks like... Curious. Our pH is okay. So I think we're going to have to lime this field as well, to be honest with you. We might actually have quite a few fields that need to be limed. Let's actually see here. It looks like we're actually starting to get out of... It looks like that field might be getting out of... Yeah, I think it's getting closer to being outdated almost. We might have to... Maybe we should pull soil sample. Well, that shouldn't be the case because we soil sampled that area a few years... Yeah, would have been 2 years ago now when we did these 2 fields, because that one field was part of that field section, so to speak, for soil sampling. So I wonder why that's the case there. It looks like the canola over here is coming in really nicely too as well. We're gonna have quite a bit to harvest next spring when the canola is ready to go. I'm trying to think right now. So we got this going into bean. We got 2 big fields going into beans next year. Or biggish fields, I should say. I'm trying to decide. So the field over there that's beans already. I'm already planning to switch to corn. Oh jeez, that's kind of weird. So back to what I was saying. That big field over there that's beans right now, we'll be putting into corn again next year. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put that into corn as well or put that into beans and try to go a little bit more heavy on beans next year, because right now I don't think we're going to need as much corn next year, especially since we're still sitting on some corn silage yet in the boxes, and we're not really burning through corn silage that fast to where I think we really need to worry about it next year. The only thing we probably really need to worry about is doing some haylage for our beef cattle. And that usually one session of that is usually just enough for us. Oh geez. I'm not even going to be able to make a full end-to-end pass here and make it back down the field. So we're probably going to have to go around this 3 times. Yeah, I think that's going to be the safer option, because I do not think that... Well, you know, I could have just moved the truck over here instead of leaving it by the pasture. This is fine. Gives us a little more time to run the harvester. I don't feel like we've been able to run this harvester enough this session, and I really like this harvester a lot. It's been one of my favorite modded harvesters out there, but that's just because I like the older style equipment a lot more. More is my thing. Like, the new stuff is cool and awesome, but it doesn't provide the nostalgia to me like something like this does. Because I think when growing up, I think I've said it. I think we had an F2. I think that was the model. I have to go back and see if I can find a picture of it, but it's quite a thing to think about of how big and massive some of these combines have gotten over the years. First from when I first started growing up on the farm, with my lifespan, so to speak. Like, oh, I'm trying to think the best example. Like, so if you, I think I talked about this before. It's probably been it's up getting close to almost 10 years now that I did an internship for a farmer. I say up north from where you live, basically, and they ran like a S680, 660, something like that, while we were still running a 9400. And after helping them harvest all that year, and then coming home to help my folks harvest it. It's really kind of funny when you stand next to, after you've been around a machine that big and then coming home to something small like that 9400 John Deere. It really makes it feel like it's just a little tinker toy anymore. But I think we're going to jump into the time lapse here. Like I said, we're going to get 3 passes around this field knocked out. And then we're going to let a helper take over, and then we're going to start getting the other field ends, the headlands ripped, and let a helper take over and try to finish this field out ourselves. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Well, everyone, we're getting to the point where we're going to be wrapping up today's episode. I decided to get the Kubota hooked up to the little Alice chisel plow here to help speed things up a little bit, and I think it was a smart choice. I kind of wanted to get all this plowing done this month, and we're gonna hit it pretty easily now. I think I'm kind of glad I didn't get rid of this chisel plow because it came in handy. Granted, we didn't get as much ground covered as the ripper over here, but you know what? Every little bit helps. So I think we made pretty good time on this. I'm just gonna have to clean up. Oh, just gotta clean up a little bit here. A few spots over here that the ripper missed, but that's not a huge deal. I kind of expected it to happen since I started them on the awkward side of the field here. I should have actually had them start on the long rows versus the short rows here, but we'll get this cleaned up here quick. It won't take us that long. I can't remember, we had like 77,000 liters of corn, which I don't think is too bad. I think that's going to be at least it's going to be 2 full truckloads for sure. But not a bad season for harvest. I think last year we had like 120,000 to be honest with you, if I remember right, but I do not know for sure. Like I said, it's been a while. I've been pretty busy the last week and a half or so, so I'm kind of working right now getting everything caught up again, but I am just really happy that we got all the plowing done, because that means next month, if I decide to, I could probably almost get ready to, I could think about liming, to be honest with you, next month. We could start liming some of our fields that are going to need it. I think we're going to start liming with the 78 just because that way we don't lose as much power pulling up the hills. I like doing it with the 40/20. It makes more sense, or something like the Oliver, but I think we'll just do it with the 78 so that way we'll know we'll have more than enough power to handle everything. I'm going to hook this back up to the slurry tanker. I'm going to keep this tractor on the slurry tanker just because it makes more sense to me just because we have GPS and we don't have any GPS on the workhorse yet. I'm thinking about getting GPS for it, but I haven't fully committed to it yet. I mean, it's capable of having it. I just don't know if it's worth us putting a GPS on this tractor as well. It probably should be, to be honest with you, but between the 78 and this and the Kubota, I think those are really the only 2 main tractors that we need to have GPS on right now. I don't even think I'm going to wash this year. I think I'm just going to park it right in front of the chisel plow, so that way we're ready to go for next year. I don't think next year we're going to be expanding ground. I shouldn't say expanding ground. We're going to buy another piece of ground next year for sure, but I remember thinking back that I wasn't going to expand any more fields. I was going to expand more business on the business side of stuff, so I haven't figured out how I want to do that yet or what we want to invest into. I know there's a bunch of new... Oh, geez. Okay, there it goes. I was still freaking out. I was like, oh gosh. But I think we're going to definitely expand on the business side. I'm not sure what we're going to go into yet. Oh, wow. Look at that wear. That is really cool. I just like how... Yeah, that is just... I just like how much work the modders put into stuff like this, like the wear marks and such on everything. But anyways, we're going to wrap up today's episode here. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe so you can stay up to date to the latest series. Above all else, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And most of all, thanks for watching.